For months, I had been working 70-hour weeks, trying to complete a hospital renovation project that had been bleeding our construction company dry. While I was burning the candle at both ends, juggling contracts and permits, my younger brother, Damien, had suddenly taken a surprising turn. He was showing up on time, volunteering for weekend work, dressing professionally. Gone was the club-hopping flake who treated our family business like a side hustle. Even my father, Russell, remarked more than once, "Looks like Damien's finally maturing." When the project finished in March 2023, on time and $50,000 under budget, I thought my life would return to normal. I thought my wife, Lydia, and I would reconnect, finally start the family we'd been planning for. But what I didn't realize then was that normal had already been completely redefined behind my back. Lydia's schedule remained as chaotic as ever. Extra shifts, she said. Mandatory trainings, she claimed. But I was finally home early enough to notice things weren't adding up. First came the cash withdrawals, $200 every Friday, for 2 months. When I asked her, she brushed it off with a laugh. "Girls' nights are getting expensive. I prefer using cash so I don't overspend with the card." It sounded plausible, except we'd always tracked our spending together. And now, suddenly, she was hiding her expenses. Then there was the phone behavior. That secret smile while texting. But every time I walked into the room, she'd either lock the screen or place it face down, like she'd been caught mid-sin. When I asked who she was talking to, she'd say, "Work group. Scheduling stuff." Always the same vague excuses. But the most terrifying clue came in early April. Lydia started throwing up every morning at 6 a.m. like clockwork. I thought, maybe she's pregnant. We'd been trying, after all. But when I brought it up, her face turned ghost white. Then came the deflection, "It's just a stomach bug going around the hospital." I was tracking her cycle, though, not out of control, but because we were actively trying to conceive. She was 3 weeks late, something that had never happened in the entire time we'd been together. When I brought it up, she exploded, "Why are you tracking my periods like some stalker, Trevor? I can manage my own body." That wasn't the reaction of a woman excited to start a family. That was fear. Then my mother, Valerie, started acting strangely too. She stopped calling the landline and began calling Lydia's cell phone directly. I'd catch Lydia leaving the room, whispering in hushed tones for 30 to 40 minutes at a time. I overheard snippets like, "Make sure everything is handled," or, "He must not find out." What were they hiding? One day, I came home early, my truck wouldn't start, and Rodriguez, my crew leader, gave me a ride. I walked in around 2 p.m. and heard laughter in the living room. Lydia was laughing in that relaxed, flirty way I hadn't heard in months. Sitting right beside her on my couch was Damien. They weren't touching, but they were too close. Their reaction when they saw me said it all. "What are you doing here?" Lydia asked, as if I were the intruder in my own home. Damien fumbled out a story about just being in the neighborhood. His smile was fake. Lydia couldn't meet my eyes. That night, I couldn't sleep. So I started digging. I pulled up GPS logs for Damien's company truck. Over 3 months, his vehicle had been parked in my neighborhood during work hours. At hotels. At restaurants that had nothing to do with any job site. I cross-referenced those with Lydia's supposed hospital shifts. The pattern was undeniable. Then came the joint account audit. Friday cash withdrawals, always $200. Charges at fancy restaurants and boutique hotels, when she said she was at work. $180 at Fleming's. $220 at the Four Seasons. Brunch on Sundays when she said she was covering for a sick nurse. I kept a journal, logging every lie. Then I called the hospital, pretending there was a family emergency. A nurse told me Lydia hadn't been in for 3 days. That was the final crack in the dam. The next day, I waited until Lydia left for what she claimed was a mandatory training. I opened her email using the password we'd shared for years, Team Trevor 2019. And at the top of her inbox was an email thread with my mother. The subject line, "Making sure Trevor never finds out." I opened it and nearly vomited. They had been plotting the affair, my wife and my own mother. 3 months of messages. In the beginning, Valerie was cautious. Are you sure this is just a phase? But very quickly she became an accomplice, helping plan excuses, hiding Damien in her house, even offering time slots when my father wouldn't be home. One message read, Russell always golfs Thursdays till 6. Use the back alley. Damien can come through the side door near the garage. I'll make sure the neighbors don't see. Then came the pregnancy updates. Lydia was 8 weeks along. She didn't know if it was mine or Damien's. My mother's reply chilled me to the bone. Doesn't matter. Tell Trevor it's his. He'll be a better father anyway. He has the house, the income, the maturity. Damien can keep having fun. Everyone wins. Another email. Make sure you keep sleeping with Trevor so the dates line up. That day, I called my father and told him to meet me at the office. I showed him everything. He read the emails in silence. Then he looked me dead in the eyes and said, Son, this is war. We met with Marcus, the company's lawyer, that same day. He reviewed all the documents, gave us legal counsel, and told me to move fast to protect my assets. The house was mine, bought before the marriage. The investments were mine, separate property. The joint account. I left $5,000 in it to avoid suspicion and moved the rest. Meanwhile, my dad quietly revoked Damien's company access, canceled his credit cards, and made sure his truck wouldn't start come Monday. I blocked Lydia from my personal cards, left one joint card with a $2,000 limit, and waited. That night, Lydia's phone buzzed with a message from Damien. I can't wait for tomorrow. Dad's working late. We'll have the house to ourselves again. That was the final nail. I hosted a family dinner. I told Lydia we were making a special announcement. She was visibly nervous, asking what it was. I kept smiling. You'll find out. I prepared the dining room like a courtroom. Divorce papers in one envelope. Printed emails in another. A certified check for $15,000 for Dad, the same amount Valerie had secretly lent Damien. Everyone showed up. My mom hugged me with that fake warmth I now knew was poisoned. Damien arrived late, smug as ever, in a shirt that cost more than most people's rent. So, bro, he smirked, is Lydia finally pregnant? After dinner, I stood and handed Lydia the envelope. These are divorce papers. Silence. Mom gasped and clutched her chest. Trevor, what has gotten into you? I cut her off. Shut up, Valerie. I handed my father the envelope of printed emails. Read these. Your wife helped plan your son's betrayal. Damien jumped up. You read her emails. That's illegal. I glared. Really? That's your concern, not the fact that you've been sleeping with my wife. Lydia started sobbing. Trevor, please, listen. Shut up, Lydia. My father exploded when he read how Valerie had scheduled their affairs around his golf games. Valerie, what the hell is this? She tried to blame Lydia. She came to me. I was trying to minimize damage. Damien shrugged, smug. Come on, Trevor. You were never home. She needed someone. I was there. That's when I punched him. Full force. His nose exploded, blood hit the floor in his designer shirt. My mom screamed. My dad stood up, cold fury in his voice. Damien, you're fired. You're done. You don't exist to me anymore. Valerie cried, but he's your son. No, Trevor is my son. And you both betrayed him. Lydia begged, the baby might be yours. Then we'll do a test. Either way, we're done. This marriage is over. I handed Dad the $15,000 check. For the loan your wife convinced you to give him. The fallout was nuclear. The baby wasn't mine. The divorce was fast. She got her clothes, her Honda Civic, and nothing else. Lydia moved in with her friend Sasha, who had helped her fake shifts. That didn't last. Sasha kicked her out after 6 weeks. Damien, blacklisted in the industry, no job, no car, living with Valerie in a dingy apartment. Then he got arrested for driving without insurance. 2 nights in jail. Dad didn't bail him out. Even better, Marcus discovered Valerie had been secretly siphoning $3,000 a month to support Damien, hidden credit cards, second mortgage, unauthorized withdrawals. My dad divorced her 6 weeks later. She now works at Target for $12 an hour. Karma. 8 months later, I'm thriving. I'm now a 40% partner in the family business. I met a woman named Clara, an architect with her own life and goals. The opposite of Lydia in every way. Damien showed up at my house one day, begging me to take responsibility for Lydia's daughter, to give her my name, to pay child support, even help with his legal bills. Family is family, he said. Be the mature one. I laughed and had them removed for trespassing. Because family isn't about blood. It's about loyalty. And they failed that test miserably. Sometimes the best revenge is living well while your betrayers drown in the consequences they created.